into the room. Be coachable, teachable, tradable. Post your city and state where you're catching this information from on today. My name is Brand Master Martina Britt Yelverton, and I am your Brand Master and Cash Flow Queen, helping you guys to go from being stuck and struggling inside of a company's brand to actually flourishing inside of your own personal brand. And today I'm actually talking about the hard truth and the wake-up call of what the last 6 months that your brand master has endured. So I'm going to verify my audio here to make sure I have the right one on, just in case the doggies decide to, come on up out their zhuzh and decide to bark and carry on. It doesn't interrupt the stream. So if you're an entrepreneur who's actually been struggling tirelessly creating content, but you feel like you are seeing zero results for new clients and your current business bills are piling up, if you're tired of guessing, your way through and you're ready for growth and the brutal, honest truth about the reality of being a business owner, then maybe this video will help you. So I want you to stick around because I'm going to reveal the hard truth about what these last 6 months have been like and the pivotal pivot, the radical pivot, the crazy pivot that we are going to make. And it's going to start with a free kickstart kit that you'll be able to get access to, and you'll be able to make your own comeback. So trust and believe, guys. Once again, I almost quit. And this is the brutal, honest truth about the last 6 months in business and what quarter 3 is about to look like. We are actually looking at continuing to develop where the brand is going, but we're going to do it much more transparently so you can discover why the content maybe wasn't shifting the needle or moving the needle as much as I would have liked for it to have done in my business compared to the way that I am looking to move forward and generate income now. And we're going to start, of course, with the emergency branding fix kit that you will be available to shift and pivot and enhance and revamp and do whatever you need to do in your business. But more importantly, so that you will be able to see what real business looks like, what the back end looks like, the truth that people don't tell you, the struggles, the ups, the downs, everything that you have to go through, to make this thing do what it do. And hopefully you guys will be able to glean something from it that will work forward moving in your business. Okay. So let's get down to it. For the past 6 months, we've been creating content, but the business wasn't growing as much as I would have liked for it to. The current clientele, of course, have been loyal. They've stuck, they've stayed, they've actually grown and flourished and done so much in their own right. However, while working so much, to get them moving and to get them moving forward, my own personal business was not generating new income. And the business bills are still sitting here there, and things are just like, so I'm sharing this because it is the honest truth about what goes on in business and the exact messaging that I am now working, with my chat GPT on that has already began to spark a massive pivot. And I want you to learn why the old ways of teaching wasn't working, in my opinion, and how I'm making this shift towards aggressive monetization so that we'll be able to document the process for you guys who are catching this information, right? And this isn't just my story. This is a wake-up call for every single entrepreneur who's currently stuck in content creation, in that influencer hamster wheel. And I want you guys to see how you can actually look at what you may need to do or pivot or change in your business so that you can stop guessing your way through growth and you can actually see it manifest. Okay. So these are some entrepreneur struggles. This is a business pivot. These are quarter 3 goals that we have for the business, and I'm hoping that you will be able to do the same in your business. So some things that I'm going to talk about today, honestly, what I feel like are 6 months of zero, effort, but 6 months of zero manifestation. However, it's not really true. It's just my goals or my what I'm wanting to do. I don't feel like it did as much as I wanted to, and I know I'm being hard on myself, but it is what it is. That's just the truth about what goes on in business. You're more hard on yourself. So what I want to show you guys is the exact messaging that I'm now using inside of my AI assistant and how it revealed a lot of the problems and why the traditional content that we were putting out, which was, this is what you all need to know, compared to this is the truth about how you need to grow your own personal brand, because the answer is in the word. It's personal brand. So while I'm the brand master and I'm mastering my own personal brand, it's there's a crossover that has to happen when I'm teaching you guys how to master your own personal brand, okay? And why it's going to cause a radical pivot from teaching to aggressive monetization, so that you can see this is exactly what you need to do. You could put all of the information out there for free, but it's not going to have the transformation that it needs to have. There's not some type of grit in the game, if there's not some skin in the game, if there's not some type of transaction that happens to make the transformation, happen. And I know that's a double word, but you get what I'm saying. And so I'm going to show you the first steps, what yours should be, and how you may want to utilize this in this quarter to have your own comeback. Okay. So again, for the past 6 months, what we've been doing is what all the gurus tell you to do. And of course, we've been doing it with a twist. We've been creating content, awareness content, putting it out on Reels. I've actually ended up in a couple of new courses, just, seeing what's out there. And what has happened is the leaders of these courses will instantly be like, how do I know you? Like, I've seen your name before. I've seen your face before. And that lets you know that even some of the gurus, they're seeing the information that we're putting out from the band master. But in my opinion, it hasn't been generating new income. It hasn't been generating new clients. And that is the goal. It hasn't grown the YouTube channel the way I want it to for, the new subscribers. And so while even though I felt relief in the work because it was already pre-programmed, the blueprint was there, we're just waiting for the results to show up, I just felt like it was almost like I'm running in quicksand. And so I know many of you may be probably feeling this exact same way. You're putting in all of the work, but the results just aren't there, and you may be hitting a wall. And literally, I was like, Suzanne, okay, we are halfway through the year and the numbers are nowhere near what I want to see. I don't have new clients. I don't have new income, and the business bills are still, mounting. And I don't like this. This is not working financially. That literally was my wake up call. And so I'm explaining to you how to learn from moments like that, and why, the old way of if it's not giving you what it is, if it's not providing you the proof of what it is that you want, that you do need to make a shift. And I want you to understand how that shift could potentially happen for you. And it starts with doing a revamp and a review and being brutally honest with what is actually working, what you want to do, what you love about your business, and how you can do it without fail, without fault, so that you can receive the results that you want to see. So the first point that I want to make, outside of all of those point zeros, is when you actually look at what we're going to move towards, the illusion of content for content's sake is a real thing. Okay. We're told to provide value, build an audience, be consistent. And I was. That's exactly what I was doing. My YouTube channel was active. My lives were consistent. But consistency without conversion is just a hobby. It's not a business, okay? So I was teaching, educating, and inspiring, but people weren't taking the next step. They weren't subscribing. They weren't buying. They weren't joining the community. And it was like I was shouting into a void, okay? The hard truth about this is, if your content isn't directly leading to sales and leading to leads, then it's not serving your immediate financial needs. And for me, those have now become urgent, because I'm putting the information out there, but for some reason, it wasn't taking the pivot. It hasn't been doing the big aha moment that I wanted it to do. Okay. And so the AI, point two, the AI wake up call is my conversation with Susan. When I told Susan this is not sustainable, people are not watching, they're not subscribing, they're not purchasing, they're not joining, her response was a stark reminder. And that was, even if they are not watching, they are not remotely aware that I have a webinar, a challenge coming, or any of that, they don't know. And I was like, huh? Like, that was a hard hit. And so I'm planning the events, but the foundational problem was the audience engagement and the conversion. So while I was focused on the next thing, when the current small thing just wasn't converting the way I wanted to, I felt like it just was not working. And so this is where the pivot began. And now I am realizing that I need to stop waiting for people to find me and start actively calling them in. This focus is what is going to be the major shift going forward. And it's going to go from general education and showing you guys what you need to know to aggressive direct monetization. If you don't buy it, you can't get it. Okay. So the radical pivot that we're actually having, where we're going from teaching to triage, like we're going from telling you all of this to this is what we need to do. This is what you need to do, and this is why you need to do it. Okay. It's almost like the new mantra that I'm adopting is one I want you to, of course, adopt if you feel like this is a similar situation for you. And that is, if it doesn't bring visibility, if it doesn't bring leads, if it doesn't bring income, then it gets paused, right? I'll say it again for the people in the back, even louder for the people in the front, okay? If it doesn't bring visibility, leads, and income, then it gets paused, and it has to. We're going to have to shift from teaching to triage. And if you don't know what that means, triage means addressing the most critical issues first, right? So for me, that's the immediate income. That's the immediate new person that I'm trying to help, not the person who's been watching for a while and who are actually doing the things that I'm, teaching. They're actually taking the teachings and they're making things happen. I'm referring to the new individual that I really need to focus on, because we've got a well-oiled wheel right now with our current clientele, with our lighthouse clients, with our premier clients, and with our a la carte clients. It's a well-oiled machine. I am referring to the immediate help that is needed for the new people who are having these issues, okay? Now, it could be the same for you. If you can't afford to just build a brand, or if that brand isn't paying the bills, then it gets paused and you have to go figure out where is the money at so that the bills get paid, so that you can do more good out in the world, so that you can help more people. Okay. So this means that every piece of content, every action, every strategy must have a direct line to generating leads. Okay, guys? You got to know that. No more guessing, no more hoping. It's about intentional, aggressive monetization. Okay? So here's what I'm proposing for the first step: that you get the emergency branding fix kit, that you take the opportunity to go through it, because I would love to be able to share with others the shift, the change, the pivot, the comeback that you're actually making. So I've created this, and I felt like I wish I would have had this immediate pivot 6 months ago. But of course, without the last 6 months, you wouldn't have the fruition of what we're getting ready to work on. All right. And so it isn't just another freebie. Okay. It is a very focused first tool that we're going to use to triage, first and foremost, my brand, but it's also what I want you to use to triage yours. Okay, this kit will help you quickly identify what's broken in your brand, and it will give you an immediate actionable step to fix it. And so think about that wherever you are in your brand and those clients that you are helping. You want to be able to immediately fix whatever is broken, and this kit will help you. It is designed for rapid relief, and it is to get you out of the content creation influencer hamster wheel that you may be stuck on and into an income generation mode. It's the first step in this new strategy that we're putting out here to case study in the market. And I want you to take steps towards utilizing it inside of your Q3 comeback as well. All right. So it's time to stop being invisible, start attracting paying clients. And if you're having some objections to this, hear me and hear me well. Okay. If you feel like I've tried everything, nothing works, it's just a bunch of freebies, I'm tired of seeing free stuff out there, I hear you. I get it. Before we jumped on this journey, I was exactly there as well. Okay. This isn't just another freebie. This kit is born out of my own recent struggle in the past 6 months and my urgent need for a solution, and the things that I started doing in June that are showing that this massive pivot is working. It is going to generate income for you as well. It's the first step. in an aggressive strategy that I want to see trickle down throughout all of my clients and their strategies. Okay. I'm implementing it for myself now publicly so that you guys can see the rapid, tangible results, not just more information. Again, it's not about just teaching, it's about triaging a situation. Now, the next objection that you may have is that you don't have time to implement another strategy. Exactly. I get it. And that's why this kit is like an emergency fix. It's a triage. It's not about adding more to your plate. It's about identifying critical areas that, you need to shift or pivot that will bring you the income you need right now. It's about working smarter, not just harder. And it's about getting off the content creation hamster wheel. Okay. So we just did an actual VIP day with a client. And one of the first things that she had to do in triaging her situation was, what do I need to remove to simplify the process of what's going on so we can get that immediate income, that infusion? When you go to the ER, they pump you full of something that gives you a burst of relief. What is that infusion that needs to happen in your business that will trigger the pivot that you need to have happen? Because if your business isn't growing and the content is not directly leading to income, then you need to press pause on whatever it is that you're doing. And now you need to triage what actually works. The first thing that I'm going to suggest that you do is that you begin to utilize AI to figure out, what does the marketplace need, and make sure that you align your value with what the marketplace is showing that you need. One of the other things that we had to do with that client is, once she went in and she said, hey, I have all of this product that people need, but I'm just not visibly putting it in front of them. How can I do that more quickly? Then she decided, I will set up a schedule. Every single day, I will put a new product out in front of the audience. That was part of her triage. She's not going to do anything else with the products except every single new day she's going to put out what the marketplace is saying it needs and the product that she has to serve the need. Okay. The second thing that she was able to do was to look inside of her own household and see what is being underutilized. So there's these uh, not services, there are these products that she has, this jewelry that she has that actually answers the need in her industry, and her daughter is home for the summer away from school. So what she opted to do was do a percentage. While you're home for the summer, please put together all of these pieces of jewelry that answer this specific need, and we're going to get those aligned and ready to go for the next season. So it's like looking within our own household and seeing, what am I missing that I have access to that I haven't been paying attention to? Okay, that was the second thing. The next thing that she had to do was also utilize ChatGPT to say, again, what does the market need? How can I put this piece of content out? Send me a reminder, set up a strategy, and now we will follow that just for this particular segment. And now the rest of the life, she can get back to the rest of the life doing what she needs to do that's outside of this particular area of the business. Because again, if you are not intentionally putting a piece of something, content, value, that actually answers what the marketplace is looking for, you're spinning your wheels. And that is a crucial pivot that needs to happen. Now, another client that I have is an actual brand spanking new industry for me, the equestrian industry, and that's horses, if you don't know. I haven't a single solitary clue, but because they are a legacy client and we've done 2 of their other brands very successfully, might I add, when this third project came along, it was automatic. We're going to stick and stay with you. Mind you, my last 6 months, one of the woes was new clients. Again, that was the goal, but let's not forget what's already in your arsenal. This is an entire project that's already in the branding community. However, their legacy, meaning their child, needed to launch their business. And so, again, we began to triage what was going on. They needed to revamp the layout of their logo. They needed to go ahead and build out the landscape of their entire website, what the services are, what the core services are. They needed a community where they can bring people, who are now just becoming aware of that business. Even though the business has been operational, now they wanted to formally organize the business online. So that is a whole new project, but it's not a new client. Hear me and hear me well. My goal was new clients, but I did not pay attention to what was already in the business that would allow me to continue to grow and sustain and help people do exactly what it is that I endeavor to do each and every day. And that's to brand you, educate you, and to help you get your assets in order. And so that's what we're doing for that client, helping them get their assets in order, putting out an entirely new brand. And each and every Watch Me Work Wednesday, we're going to dig deep throughout and triage every single client that we currently have and show how we're pivoting and how we're shifting and how we're growing and scaling what they already have in place. Because again, if it's not bringing them new visibility, new leads, or new income, it gets paused. All right, I hope that makes sense. This is the first step in this new strategy for me and for you and for my clients, okay? And that's the Emergency Branding Fix-It Kit. We want to utilize this kit to go through, to schedule the time, to triage, and to do exactly what we need to do to fix what is not giving visibility, leads, or income, okay? So if you're ready to stop guessing your way through your growth and start generating income right now today, then it's time for you to take action. This isn't just my comeback story, all right? It's your invitation to start yours. So if you've put everything down and you start doing what works, you will have an amazing outcome. I'm trying to tell you. This is designed to help you identify what's broken in your brand, give you immediate actionable steps to fix it, and to move on to what's next. When you download the kit, you actually get exclusive invitation to book a free 15-minute brand audit call. And once you do that, this will allow you to move forward. So if you look below in the comments, or you'll look throughout the description right now, you can download your free branding fix-it kit. And you can go ahead and book your 15-minute brand audit call. Before all the spots are gone, we're not going to do this for everybody. We're going to do this for those who are looking and those who are in need and those who are ready to get started. So if you don't download the kit, you won't see the option to get the free 15-minute brand audit. So you have to move forward to do something in order to move to the next level. So if I were you, I wouldn't wait. I would go ahead and get started right now, right? Fixing your brand, triaging your brand, figuring out what's going on, and start paying yourself back. So this is quarter 3. This is your comeback quarter. This is when you can make the pivot and the shift and the change and the adjustment and the enhancement, whatever you want to do. Reboot it, come back, pivot on out of a pandemic, as you heard me say before. This is what you want to do. You want to go get your kit. Once you get your kit, you'll get the option to book the call, and I'll be excited to see you over there. Remember, you can always join the Brand You community, and that's at community.martinabrittyoverton.com, and you'll be able to see much of the last entire 6 months of resources and support. You'll also be able to get free branding and business questions answered inside of the community. The link is going to be in the description for that as well. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to helping you, brand you, to educate you, and to help you get your assets in order. And I look forward to seeing and hearing all about hopefully walking you through your quarter 3 comeback. Thank you for your time on today. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go.